Esme here, and today I am doing a tag video that I've seen going around. I really wanted to do it before the end of 2014, and it's kind of like a overall favorite albums you've purchased in 2014 kind of thing. 10 questions because I added one. There were a couple bonus questions and I added an extra one so I talked about a couple other albums that I bought this year, and I thought this would be fun. I don't know who originally made this up, so I'm sorry that I'm not crediting you. I've seen a lot of people do it, or a few people do it, and I thought it would be fun. So I tag all of you guys. You can leave me a comment down below. Even if you don't buy albums, just let me know what your favorite albums were this year, or you can make a video like I am. The first question on this list is, what was your favorite K-pop album of 2014? I have to say that my favorite album, as an album, overall from this year, was BTS's first full-length album, Dark and Wild. And I have to say this was my favorite album because this is the only album that I can still listen to all the way through and not be bored of any of the songs. I love all the songs on here so much. It was pretty cool packaging, you know, a lot of fun stuff in here, a lot of fun stuff that came in this album. I know you guys are gonna be like, what about Infinite, what about Super Junior, what about, you know, overall as an album, this takes it. This is my favorite album from this year. Number 2, your favorite photo book concept of 2014. And I was gonna choose a different album that I'm gonna talk about in a later question, but then I remembered my unboxing for this album and I was like, wait, this needs to be the album that I talk about. Do you guys remember my unboxing for this? If you don't, then I will leave a link to it in the description. But basically, my entire unboxing was going, oh my god, photos. Oh no, cards fell out. Oh my god. If you guys have not seen my unboxing for this album, it's gorgeous. I will go more in depth in the photo book in that unboxing, but this is my favorite photo book of 2014, and it wasn't even that long. It was gorgeous though. So beautiful. Looking at the photos again now, I haven't really seen them in a while. Still, do not regret this decision. Great photo book concept. Favorite solo album of the year is the third question. My favorite solo album of this year, there were a lot that came out that I really enjoyed, but the one that I bought, my favorite one, Henry's fantastic, his second mini album, his second solo mini album. This has to be my favorite. I really like a lot of solo albums that came out this year, but this one takes the cake. As an album overall, was my favorite. I did enjoy Chomi's album, and I did enjoy Kyuhyun's album. I love this song so much. I actually heard it the other day while I was scripting this, and I was like, favorite solo album, for sure. Rewind was a very close second place for this. Number 4, favorite subunit of 2014. This should not be a surprise for you. There has to be Infinite F. And I choose Infinite F over Super Junior M because I did enjoy this song more. I really loved the concept for what they went with for the music video and everything. The photo book's beautiful. I do have the Korean version, but it's not here yet, so I can't count the Korean version, so I count Koi no Sign by Infinite F. I wanted this subunit to be a thing for a very long time, and they finally are, and I'm really excited that they finally are a subunit. This was great. This was very, very good. Number 5, favorite packaging in 2014. Has to be Infinite's Be Back album, which is similar to their first album Repack, but it's a different shape, which is something that Willem doesn't usually do. The thing I really like about this packaging is how it all just kind of comes together at the end. Everything is in here. I have the first press photo book in here, which is a lovely photo book. I almost put this under my favorite photo book. And then you've got the regular photo book, and then you've got all of the CD and everything, and it's just in a box. And I really like Paradise for this reason too. I really like the way Paradise is packaged. And at the end of the day, you just close it up, and it's so easy. There's no photo books falling out or anything. It's just a box, and it's very clean, and it's very pretty to look at, and at the same time, it's still very secure, and I don't have to worry about anything coming out of here. So this was my favorite packaging of this year. My least favorite packaging of this year, that's the 6th question. So there were a couple least favorite packaging this year. I had to include more than one album. Technically I have 3 albums here, but really 2 groups. The first album that I'm going to talk about is GOT7's Got It, their debut album. This is a star. It doesn't fit on my shelf very well. The only reason I really like this album is because it's signed by all the members. I got a signed version. But like, I hate having to deal with this not like all my other albums except for my limited edition Sexy Free and Single Japan board thing fit on my shelf, and then there's this one, and it's not the same size as any of their other albums. The other ones I don't like is what Pledis was doing with Orange Caramel this year with Catalina and My Copycat. Look at how thin these are. These are so delicate, and I actually am just afraid the spine is already bending a little bit on My Copycat. Catalina has been kept in fairly good condition, but My Copycat has seen better days. It just makes me so scared. Yeah, My Copycat was exactly the same way, so I'm really hoping that they're not trying to do all of Orange Caramel's albums like this, because these two are exactly the same, and I really just do not want this to become a regular thing for Pledis. I hope that they don't keep doing this. No, just bad, Pledis, bad. Favorite Japanese or any other language besides Korean album/single released by a K-pop idol group this year? Definitely for sure, this was my favorite Japanese thing released this year. Japanese and Korean are really the only two languages that I have. If it's Chinese, it's usually XOM, so I don't really count that though. But my favorite thing had to be Donghae and Eunhyuk's first Japanese album, Ride Me. This is the CD-DVD edition. I also have the CD-only edition. This had to be my favorite thing. I heard Motorcycle and I hated that song, still hate the song, but then I listened to the rest of the album, and the rest of the album is so good. Literally such a great album. Teenage Queen is really good, Android Syndrome, Hello, Body 5, and then of course Opa Opa. 10 Years featuring Luna is so good, and I'm sorry for the people who like Motorcycle. It's not my cup of tea, but the rest of the album was my cup of tea. And these are the bonus questions, I guess. This is what people have been adding on to them. An album that surprised you this year. To be Chomi's Rewind album. I thought this was going to be a very, how do I say this? A very, like, mellow kind of album like Kyuhyun's, but this was very poppy. This album actually is very upbeat for the most part. There's Rewind, Why, there's a couple of ballads in here, but for the most part it's a pretty upbeat album, which I wasn't expecting. I also wasn't expecting 6 of the 8 songs to be in Chinese, so that kind of surprised me as well. I also didn't expect the music video. I think that the music video and this whole concept just showed a very different side of Chomi, and I really enjoyed this album. It was a pleasant surprise. Number 9, an album that was released this year that could have been better. Okay, I just want to clear one thing up before I say this. Every album that I buy because I love the group and I love the music. So any album I show you, just whatever album I show you next, don't be like, oh my god, she hates them, she's never gonna listen to their music again. Like, I didn't buy this album because I hate it. I bought this album because I liked it and because I support the group. So you guys are gonna be kind of surprised, but just chill out for a second, listen to my reasoning before you go on in the comments and yell at me. Was Infinite's second full-length album, and this is something I've been waiting for a long time. And I think compared to their first full-length album as an album, I love Last Romeo, and there's a couple of those songs on here that I really like. Alone is one of them, Infinite F Song is one of them, Sungyu Solo, and Follow Me, Reflex, they're all good songs. But as an album, compared to their first full-length album, I think that it could have been a little bit better. I just didn't enjoy it as much as their first full-length album. Their first full-length album, when I got it, I listened to the entire thing on repeat for a week straight, and that was like all I listened to for a week. And this, I found myself getting bored of a couple songs really easily. I think there were a couple filler tracks on here, not a lot, but there were a couple filler tracks on here. I wasn't disappointed with it at all. I love this album. I love this group. I love this album, but I think that there could have been a couple other songs on here that would have worked a little better. I didn't feel this way about Be Back at all. It was just this. I think Be Back had a couple of really good songs on it that added to season 2. There's 13 tracks on here, and a lot of them were my jam, so don't think that this album has no jams. It has jams, don't worry. I don't want you guys to misunderstand and think that I don't like Infinite anymore, because that's obviously a lie. So this is the question I had. Number 10, most anticipated album this year, which is my albums that I was most excited for when I heard about them. The first one was BAP's First Sensibility, their first full-length album. I have been wanting BAP to have a first full-length album for a long time. I think it was way overdue. I think they should have had one before this, and this album did not disappoint at all. I really love this album. I was listening to SNS the other day, which is one of the tracks on here, not a title track, but just one of the tracks on here, and I was just like, I loved this album so much. This has to be. When I heard about this, it came out in February, so when I heard about this at the beginning of last year, I was just like, oh my god, BAP first full-length album, and I literally freaked out so much and was so excited. The other album should not be a surprise to you, but I couldn't go this entire video without talking about this album from this year, which is why I made up the question. So the album that I most anticipated this year, besides BAP's First Sensibility, was Mamacita, Super Junior's seventh full-length album. I think that I've been waiting for this for years. Literally since Itook went to the army, I've been waiting for this album, and it was so exciting to see all the concept photos again and to go through everything again, and I think that it was just really exciting to have an album. This isn't even my favorite album from Super Junior as an album, but like, I was just really excited that they came back and that we kind of got back to normal, you know? And with Itook and Kangin and Hicho back, and so now we can kind of get back into the whole let's have an album every single year kind of thing. So I'm really excited. This is kind of what this means. It's kind of like we're back, we're still here, still releasing music. That's really good. My only complaint for this entire comeback was that they used This Is Love for their repack song instead of a new song. I thought that was kind of weird. I really love that song, but I think it was kind of weird. So those are my top songs of this year, my favorites, least favorites, you know, all that fun stuff. I think this was really fun. I really liked this tag video, so do let me know what your answers would be down in the comment section below. And like I said before, if you don't buy albums, then you can just tell me what albums in general were your favorite, not the ones that you own. Thanks for watching, guys. I think this was really good. Whoever made up this tag, I'm sorry, I don't know who it was. I've seen 2 or 3 people do it, so I don't know whose video this is, but yeah, so if it's your video, if it's your tag, you made this up, let me know. I will definitely credit you down in the comments or down in the description. And yeah, until next year. I think it was, looking at these albums was such a long year. Hopefully next year's even better. Of course, it should be better. I hope so. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye!